Once upon a time, on the plain of Eldraine, there was a color of questions and mischief, tricks and knowledge. There was a color of blue. All right, so we're going over our top 10 blue cards for your pre-release for Thrones of Eldraine. Starting off with number 10, like I always say, there were a bunch of number 10s, but I decided to go with Into the Story because it's sealed, and that 5 blue, it's going to be castable. It's definitely going to be castable. Especially when this spell costs 3 less to cast if an opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. It's an instant, and it draws you 4 cards. Yeah, that's right, 4 cards at instant. Now, like I said, 7, it's doable and sealed, but the fact, this is easily going to be 5 late in the game. Most games, I think, drawing 4 at instant is amazing. I love that. I'm going to, draw cards all day. I don't think I'm going to be running multiples of these, probably just one, because it is very expensive. I don't want to get my opening hand, but still, love this card. Number 10. All right, and number 9, we have some blue removal with Frogify. 1 in a blue for Enchantment Aura, Enchant Creature. Enchant Creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. So this is, was it Kasmina's Transmutation from War of the Spark, which I was fine with it there. I know with the army tokens wasn't that great, but doing this on a god was awesome. I did that many a time. This, you can do it on all the creature, doesn't matter. There's not many 1/1 counters going around here. I feel like this is fine blue removal. You put this on their big guy, they got a 1/1 and they have to chump block with it and it dies. Now, they can always bounce the creature, destroy the enchantment, or just get it back from the graveyard once it dies. But it's a lot of work for them to do that. So I think this is fine, especially at just 2 mana. Blue removal. Gotta love it. Number 8, Hypnotic Sprite. Blue for a 2/1 flyer. This is one of those adventure cards, and its adventure is Mesmeric Glare. 2 in a blue for an instant. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Now, you might be saying, wow, this is low on the list. And I would agree. That's because this is sealed. And this thing gets outclassed pretty fast. But late game, having a 2/1 flyer, not bad. This is the kind of card you want to play early as a 2/1 flyer. But like I said, that instant counterspell, nothing wrong with that. I'll take that. It's just has a much better home in draft. I feel like where the games are going to just go a little bit more smoothly, not go so long. You don't want to be on turn 11 and pull this and be like, ugh, I'm not going to be able to counter their bomb or really do much against it with a 2/1. So I like it. It's efficient. It's a great early game. But like I said, better in draft than sealed. Next, we have Fairy Vandal. 1 in a blue for a Fairy Rogue. So 1/2 with Flash, flying. And whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Fairy Vandal. Okay, so I'm not big on this whole when you draw your second card for sealed, because that's more of a build around thing. But blue has a lot of incidental drawing, and the fact you just get 1 counter on this guy and he's awesome, he's a 2/3 flyer. With a flash, I love that. This guy just comes down early. You ping him for 1 every once in a while, that's fine. But you opt and draw your second card. It's a 2/3. You opt again, or draw 4 cards, whatever. And he's a 3/4. He just gets bigger and bigger. He's not gonna get that big and sealed, but yeah, he's gonna do fine. And yeah, like him a lot. Coming at number 6, Sir Eleonora, the Disconcerting. 3 blue for a star 4 human knight, legendary creature. It's one of those uncommons. Its power is equal to the number of cards in your hand. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And spells your opponent casts to target it cost 2 more to cast. Oh, that's a lot going on here. So the 5 drop that has 4 toughness. Its power is probably going to be on 3 or 4. It could be 7. Who knows? But it doesn't have any evasion, which I don't like that. But hey, you know what? It draws you a card. Right there, you got your draw a second card trigger going on. And it's hard to get rid of because you have to pay an extra 2, which if Kasmina tossing anything in War of the Spark is annoying and just throws people off all the time. I feel like this is just, a really nice card that if you can flick it, is awesome. And if you can just get, a big enough hand, can just wreck things for days. Yeah, it's really good. I like it. Some more blue removal. Charmed Sleep. 1 blue for Enchantment Aura, Enchant Creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap Enchanted Creature. And Enchant Creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So we've seen this plenty of times. Claustrophobia, all those type of cards. It's always great. The blue Can hurt it sometimes, but not often. This is just premium blue removal. Turns off things that could tap. Like if you had a pacifism, they could still do its abilities. This makes it, can't do that. Yeah, maybe there's ways to untap the creature, like for a turn or something, but not enough to really be afraid of not playing this. Just always main board this. Awesome card. Coming at number 4, Vantress Gargoyle. 1 and a blue for a artifact creature, gargoyle. It's a 5/4, has flying. Okay, what's its downside? Vantress Gargoyle can't attack unless defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. All right, so it's sealed, it's gonna go long, that's fine. And it can't block unless you have 4 more cards in your hand. Well, okay, anything else? You can tap it and each player puts a top card of their library into their graveyard. Okay, so 2 mana for a 5/4 blocker early game. That's great. It has flying, so it can block flyers. So you're gonna have 4 cards in your hand early in the game when you play this. Easily gonna be able to block. So it just sits there, makes it so they can't attack. You can go late game. And eventually, especially with this ability, you're gonna get 7 cards in their graveyard and you're gonna attack for 5 in the air. That is so good. This thing is just, stone cold staring them down, just being like, yeah, I'm gonna bash you in the face. Just give me a few more turns, I'm gonna bash you right in the face. I love this card. Its downsides aren't that much of a downside. The only one is the blocking, but by the time that doesn't matter, you're just gonna be attacking anyway. So yeah, love this card. At number 3, we have Stolen by the Fae. X blue for sorcery. Return target creature with converted mana cost X to its owner's hand. You create X 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying. Okay, so it looks great on paper, and I don't think it's as great as it looks, but I think it's still really, really good. The fact that it has to be the converted mana cost is what sucks, but let's say you return something that's 3, so you're paying 5 total, you're bouncing their creature, and then making 3 1/1s? Yeah, that's amazing. And the fact that you can do it on your own creature is even better. If you have something that has a great ETB, you bounce it, then you make a bunch of 1/1s, and then you get to play it again and do whatever that ETB was. Yeah, this card, really good. Downside, sorcery kind of sucks, but if it was instant, it'd probably be kind of broken. So yeah, like this card a lot. Maybe it does look as good. It is as good as it looks. So number 3, Stolen by the Fae. And number 2, oh, this one, contentious, Brazen Borrower. 1 blue for a fairy rogue. It has an adventure, but it's a 3/1 with flash flying, and it can block only creatures with flying, and its adventure is Petty Theft. 1 and a blue, instant, return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Okay, so this is contentious because it's a mythic, and people say this doesn't feel like a mythic. This is a rare at best. Except in limited, you can sometimes get 2 rares. I would hate to play against 2 of these. Absolutely hate it. I'm glad it's mythic because think about it, paying 5 mana to bounce their creature on their turn and put down a 3/1 that's going to attack them next turn. Ouch, ouch, that hurts so much. That's the best way I can see this. At worst, this is a 3/1 flyer for 3 that comes down on their turn, or you just bounce something and get something later. But yeah, this card, it's really, really efficient. It's not a bomb, of course. I mean, there's no way this can be a bomb, but it's so super efficient and just is like a groaner card. I really like it. I would love to open this in a blue deck. And coming at number 1, Gadwick the Wizened. X blue for a legendary creature, human warrior. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent opponent controls. Whew, okay, that's a lot of blue. And you definitely want to be a lot of blue for its second ability. But that X to draw X cards, it's so good, especially late game. Say you have 7 mana out, you're tapping all of it down, you're drawing 4 cards, getting a 3/3 that can potentially tap their other creature so you can attack. Really good card. Hard because I don't feel like it's a bomb. I don't feel like blue has any bombs. This is as close as it's getting. I really like it though. I think blue has just a bunch of efficient creatures. This is definitely one of them. Let's talk about a card that's not so efficient. The rare to avoid, Folio of Fancies. 1 and a blue for an artifact. Players have no maximum hand size. XX tap, each player draws X cards. 2 and a blue, tap, each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard. So it mills them forever how many cards they have in their hand. What is going on with this card? I get it. People want it. They'll want to mill. Like, I play this. You have 6 cards. I mill you for 6. Sure, but unless you're a dedicated mill deck, is not gonna work. The fact you give your opponent pluses by making their hand size have no maximum and having them draw cards. The fact that you just mill them for maybe 3 or 4 each turn is nice, but I don't think it's going to win you any games. I feel like you should just stay away from this card. Like, oh, it's an alternative win condition, but it's not really. It's just getting things in their graveyard, and maybe you'll get there if it goes long enough. It's another card that could be like a removal or a better creature, and I feel like you should probably just be doing that. All right, there we go. Like I said, blue. Bunch of efficient cards, not really any big bombs like, oh my god, I play this, I'm going to win the game, but just a bunch of great cards, blue being blue. All right, stay tuned for more of these coming up. We got red, green, black, multicolor, all kinds of stuff. Top 10, Thrones of Eldraine, pre-release. If you want to follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor, and see you next draft. This program brought to you by viewers like you.